The period of the phony war gave way to reality. With the German advance and the British retreat from Dunkirk, the map of Europe was continually changing, with many a school pupil taking an active interest in the progress of the war. Death was constantly present and was felt in varying degrees by different people. Sometimes the reality was very personal.
You listen to all the big news broadcasts, the 9 o'clock news, the 6 o'clock news, the 9 o'clock news at night. You never miss those, because if there was news of a ship that had gone down, you would say, Mrs. So-and-so's son is on that.
It was a reality, you know, that something wasn't right in the world. You know, we were old enough to understand that, and we would listen to the news intently, and there would have been names of countries would have been mentioned, and the first thing was your school officer was out to see where that country was, you know.
Nothing very much happened for a while in the Second World War, and a lot of our forces were taken to France, and it was really sparring, and then it all changed dramatically, and the British then, as you know, had to evacuate from Dunkirk, and my mother's cousin, he was a transport driver, and he was actually bringing men back to the beaches when he was missing, presumed dead for some time. And then we heard eventually from others who had been in the convoy and they had escaped what had happened. And his lorry had had a direct hit, so he was killed. But his mother refused to believe he was dead. And
I remember hearing, I was upstairs and it was a tall house, and I heard the ring at the door, and I heard my father going and opening the door, and then there was a kind of strange silence, and I think I knew that something must have happened, and I came to the head of the stairs and looked down, and I could see the clergyman, our clergyman, and my father's brother standing with my father in a little group, and there was absolute silence. My father's head was bent, his back was to me, and I knew that something terrible had happened.